To begin this, I will just rant about a few things that I have an opinion about. It has nothing to do with Ghibli, so if you want to watch simply that, then you can just move on until you see my notebook. So, first things first. Currently, I'm watching Harry Potter. If you hear any noise in the background, it's my dad. But I started watching Harry Potter, like a movie once a night or so. What the hell is up with the first movie? Like, Slytherins were supposed to win, but it was so obvious that Dumbledore was like, no, Slytherin can't win, we gotta make something. So I hear Gryffindor gets 160 points for no reason. Like, it was so painfully obvious. Like, I can't. Zero respect, bro. Zero respect. Because, like, I understand that Minerva, cat lady. I understand that she's a bit more biased. She's the head person, mistress, whatever, over Gryffindor. But still, do they need to hate on Slytherin so much? I don't get it. I feel offended. And the second part is Wednesday. Family Adams. So, as you guys might have seen in my Tim Burton video, I am a huge fan of both Tim Burton and Family Adams. Well, and when I say Family Adams, it's the movies from the 90s. Though I have nothing against the animation movies that are now. And sadly, I haven't seen the old school TV show. But 2 days ago, Wednesday, they released Wednesday on Netflix. I am beyond shocked. And I watched half the episode and then I gave up. This is not for me. Because obviously I have grown up with the Family Adams movies from the 90s. I am expecting like Gomez and Patricia to be like these beautiful, youthful people that are weird, you know. That is not how they look in Wednesday. I have nothing against how the characters are created. I like how they are. The plot, not my thing. But the characters, good. The actors for the characters, though. Wednesday I have nothing against. But Gomez. Every time they got a close-up on him, I cringed. Because, well, obviously I'm not used to them looking anything less than a supermodel, you know? But then I read an article that said something like, if you're a die-hard fan, two puns in one. If you're really a fan of the old, this is not for you because this is more like new, creative love story-ish. Which I was so not in for. So I watched half the first episode. I don't think I will watch anything more of it. I'm not gonna say if it's good or bad. Because I like to have a bit more meat on my bones before I say something like that. But it's not for me. And me, well, I have all my personal experience, but also I am really, really in for the 90s, and this is not similar. Like, this is something new, so not my style. Okay, now I wasted 5 minutes of that, so let's get into this. This, what you're seeing on the background, is just an old drawing of mine. Obviously I had to have notes, because obviously I will just give a few interesting Studio Ghibli tip, like, facts. Yeah. I mean, obviously, most people probably know that Spirited Away won Best Animation in the American Academy Award 2001. You know, like, wow. Though we have... Why did Spirited Away become the most popular one when they have had so many movies before it? Well, for a fact, they had an American that had worked earlier on Pixar that helped with the advertising of Spirited Away. So, depending on, you can always, like, imagine, fantasize, think that because of this American, it changed in how the world got to know about it. You know, the advertising was different and all that. Other parts suggest that, because I had to write like a whole question about really going into Spirited Away, like, oh yeah, it has the principles of a strong, independent woman, and that's why also outsiders like it compared to the others. And well, she had to go on a journey and discover herself and all that. I mean, obviously a strong, independent female lead is quite typical for Ghibli. But either way, they went into all, like, discovering yourself and all that, you know, like... Basically, just overrated shit on why it can be interesting. And with this American came merchandise. Because obviously merchandise has been a part of anime and manga culture since... I don't remember which one it was. I think it was Astro Boy. You know, the first anime. I don't remember which one. I will have to look through my notes if I'm gonna talk about that in the future. Either way, they didn't want to sell like merchandise. And mostly spoken of was like Totoro plushes. Studio Ghibli didn't want to sell that. But in the end, they gave in. Basically, they got a bit weak for the money and was like, okay, sure, we can start with merchandise. And now we even have mobile games with Studio Ghibli. At least characters. And then we have the Studio Ghibli Museum / theme park hybrid that opened in 2001. This one I haven't looked up more about. I only have it from my Japanese popular culture book, which I made a review about before. And that's like from 2014 or so I have no new updates regarding that. Mostly because I am a sociologist student, so my focus is more what's coming now with the Ghibli tourism that also has a community. Because I didn't know, but I could easily have guessed that Studio Ghibli has tourism and that tourism has a community. You know, like in Kiki's delivery service, you have, I think, a place here in Sweden or something. You know, like you go to the places that you see in Ghibli movies that are confirmed, and from that you write online and have communities all about it, which I find super fascinating. And if I become a scientist in sociology, I will hopefully be able to continue on that. But I do find it interesting because in Australia, at least there was a place that at that time of the book was not confirmed to actually be in any of the movies, but people thought it looked so alike one of the places in some movie that it did become one of those places where people should visit. And that's quite interesting. And I mean, if you want to know more about like what I know with anime manga, please comment down below, because I can go through like shoujo manga, shonen manga, origins of manga, manga as we know it today, all that. And with this tourism, it's not something new, because most of you probably have seen it online, like someone has taken a screenshot from your name or something and they hold it up at the staircase where it is inspired from. Well, I mean, it's kind of weird though. Like, why do we do that? I mean, when you create art, when you create anime, it's art. You do take things from reality. Like, a lot of people say that Miyazaki has a lot of similarities when it comes to the Shinto religion, outside of just taking like characters and folklores from it, because of how it is with nature and all that. I mean, that is not the real reality, but it is from reality. It is a religion. So obviously all of this is somehow always from reality. But that's just me going off on this philosophical, sociological thing. But yeah, there you have a bit new info. And I do think I will make a video about the origin of manga as we know it today, and the origins of anime as we know it. Though I would highly, highly appreciate if you would actually write in the comments that you want it, which would make me more motivated, because I find it very interesting to know about like the origins of modern anime and manga. Like, I have also written for school about the physicality in anime, like how can some people get like hit by a car and they're fine, where does that begin? Or how does it actually look with feminism in shoujo manga? Well, now I am gonna just go through a little bit short of the movies that I have seen. Sadly, I've only seen 7 Ghibli movies. I know it is very short. Well, it's very small compared to like the actual list of Ghibli movies. But you have to understand that I have not been that into what Ghibli has offered. But first we have, by the way, warning, I have only learned Japanese from Duolingo. If I butcher it in Japanese, please blame them. Sen Toshihiro no Kamikashi, Spirited Away. So this is actually a Swedish version. And compared to all the others, we don't actually have anything that is translated to Spirited Away. Though I do like the more mysterious name from the original Japanese, Sen Toshihiro no Kamikashi, which is basically Sen and Chihiro's Spirited Away. So you get a bit more mystery, like Sen and Chihiro. And obviously if you have seen it, you know that Chihiro sells her name, basically her identity, and becomes Sen. So this is my favorite, because I will go from most favorite to least favorite. And I mean, it is amazing. Because if anyone would ever ask me like what movie I've seen over 10 times, this is definitely one of them. I love Haku, I love Chihiro. No Face, amazing, just the story overall. And also the fact that you can have Haku and Chihiro's relationship as either friends or romantic. Next is Howl no Ugoku Shiro. Howl's Moving Castle. So this one I have not on DVD or Blu-ray because I have seen it on Netflix. And I really like it. I do like the whole thing with Howl. His thing is quite cool, but I also like that, well, she gets to turn into an old lady, and like you see how it also ages with her, you know, like her personality starts to get a little bit older with the body. And then we have Kaguya Hime no Monogatari. My bad. Kaguya Hime no Monogatari. Which is just Princess Kaguya. So this one I haven't have on DVD either. I have seen it on Netflix. I find it to be a very, very moving story. Like, I cried at the end. And I usually don't get emotional, but I do find it so beautiful. If you're like me, you're very interested in seeing different art styles, then I highly recommend that one. It might not be like action-filled plot or anything, but it does give you a view into old Japanese culture, their folklores, and it's just something sweet. And that is my number 3. So my number 4. Mononoke Hime. Princess Mononoke. So this one, obviously. The Swedish one. So this one I love. You know, maybe I have a thing for wild people, you know. This is in my this is top 4 in Ghibli, and then we have my favorite character, you know, Inosuke. Either way, I love this. I really like the main character. I like her personality. Like, it's nothing typical soft female about it. It's hard on point, and I love it. And, well, you know, those small things. You know, those. Yeah, I don't know if I actually even look up a picture of it. But you know those small, like, clay white things in it? Hella cute. But I do like this more action-filled, badass woman type thing with it. I really like it. So this one I would recommend. Honestly, if I were to recommend overall, it would probably be this one, Spirited Away, and My Neighbor Totoro. That would probably be the ones I highly recommend no matter what. And on the 5th place we have Kase Tachino, The Wind Rises. This is a bit like Kaguya Hime. It's a bit more on the soft side. Like, here we have a family man, he's just going through life, and you get like this normal life. Like, you know, you get some sweetness in life, and you know, the typical romance drama thing. So yeah, as you can see, like, some things I really like the action, and some things I just want some sweet nothing. And then we have Tonari no Totoro, my neighbor Totoro. Next door is Totoro. So this one is basically the same as The Wind Rises. You know, it's not like... it's more drama. Like, you get this dad with his kids, and like they just discover the world through a child's eyes. You know? I mean, this is really good. I did force my dad to watch it because he hadn't watched it, and I was like, bro, you gotta watch it. It's like a must. But yeah, I do think that's... And then we have one I'm a little bit confused about. So I don't know what they call this in English. In Japanese, it's Karigurashi no Ariete. And I don't know if in English it's The Secret World of Ariate or just Ariate. Either way, in Swedish it's Lånaren Ariete, aka The Borrower Ariete. So this one I watched first when I was very young. I was probably like 5, 6 something, and I had seen it. Because we went with school when I was like 7 and watched it there, and I recognized most of it. So this one is least favorite of those I have mentioned. Mostly because I'm not really into the Thumbelina like vibe. I've never been a fan of Thumbelina compared to other parts. Though I do find it very interesting, and I mean, who doesn't like seeing the world from another point of view, you know, the same as Totoro, you follow children and see how they see it. So yeah, I do like it, though it's not what I would really like, give people to watch first. But it also depends on who you are. Like, if you like more like Totoro and Kaguya Hime and The Wind Rises, you know, you like more laid back, then this is it. So basically, laid back, then you want Princess Kaguya, The Wind Rises, My Neighbor Totoro, and The Secret World of Ariate. And if you want a little bit more action, then you have Spirited Away, House Moving Castle, and Princess Mononoke. So yeah, that's overall just my comments about this. And please like, subscribe, because I still want to reach around plus 10 subscribers by the end of this year. But yeah, we'll see when I actually decide to do the origins of manga and anime. So yeah, peace.